Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host Red. I got a video today from withdeee.
I got something to say about the fact that I got 6 kids with 6 different men. So I'm just gonna tell y'all why it is better to do it this way. If I had 6 kids with all the same dude, I get 34% of his income, which is only $680 a month. If I got 6 kids with 6 different dudes, I get 17% from each one of them, which is $340 a month from each one. $340 a month times 6 baby daddies is $2,040. So why don't you have 6 baby daddies?
You know that nigga that you thinking about? Does he have a wallet?
No.
And in that wallet, does he have money?
No.
Oh, okay. Have a good day.
If he ain't paying all them bills,
Damn.
he can't say nothing.
Okay.
Nothing, because he's just a roommate.
I'm adding myself. So that's all I have for you. I don't bring anything I don't have anything to bring to a table.
Thank God for passport bros. Yeah, thank God, right? Thank God we can go over to another country where women are more impoverished in a less power position than a man, where they don't talk about things like feminism. They know their place, they stay in the house, they're much easier to manipulate. I need to use them. I need access to their body. They don't backtalk, not like the women here, and they definitely don't have TikTok to watch things like Crystal Channel, right?
When you pay attention to the passport bros, like they're getting women from like the DR, Colombia,
Yes.
The Philippines, Thailand, like women that can speak very little English, women that don't have education, women that
need them. Women that need
women
them.
are raised to be wives.
Damn right.
They learn everything
in these other communities,
from birth.
This is exactly why my father is super adamant right now. Like super adamant right now at getting me a Cambodian wife. Him and my aunts are like scouring right now to try to get me one that lives here. They want someone that lives here. They don't want someone that lives over there. But they're looking for one. They're looking for a very traditional woman, Asian woman, Cambodian. My dad's like, I want to be able to have conversations with her. I'm like, Dad, am I marrying her or are you marrying her? But that's my dad, you know? And yeah, that's just the traditionalism that Asian culture kind of keeps, or at least able to keep with some of the offsprings of, you know, Asian culture is pretty good. Obviously, there's a lot of women that go super far left into feminism, and then there's still ones that are very traditional. Hopefully, you can find one yourself. It doesn't have to be in this country. It could be in any other country. It can be in South America. I don't care. Find somewhere you think you belong. Find someone that sees something in you, right? You don't have to struggle out here to try to make these women out here in the West to see you. You might be seen somewhere else.
From their father, from their mother, how to be a wife and how to support your man.
Women that need them.
It's not even women that need them. It's women that treat them with respect.
So we don't.
Yeah,
Y'all know y'all don't.
exactly.
So, let me get this straight. You don't need a man. You're independent. You're the prize. Men are trash. And you're perfectly fine alone. So, why are you making your 47th video this month about men dating abroad? If these guys are so undesirable, so low value, such losers, that you're fine with them leaving, why can't you stop talking about them? I'm a Filipina, and I'm tired of watching Western women call us dumb, uneducated, submissive doormats, while
Most Filipinas, especially the ones I've dated, very highly educated, not dumb. They live here, so not impoverished.
pretending they're protecting us. I'm tired of the fake feminism.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the racism disguised as concern. Today we're breaking down the Passport Bros controversy, what it actually is, who's really being harmed, and why the people screaming the loudest are revealing way more about themselves than the men they're attacking. And trust me, this isn't what you think. And let's get into it.
Yeah, I don't know if Dee lives in the West or not, but from her accent, I kind of want to say she doesn't.
Hi guys, it's Dee and welcome back to the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment.
But then again, her books and all of like her background makes it feel like she's a more Western country to me, just because of the Mandalorian and stuff.
Comment below.
But
first, let's actually define what we're talking about, because everyone's throwing around terms without knowing what they mean.
Sure.
Passport bros are men, usually Western, who travel abroad specifically to date or find a wife because they're frustrated with dating culture back home. From what I know, they find a wife in Asia or something and they take them back to the US or to the West. Sexpats, on the other hand, are predators. These are men exploiting economic disparities for sexual access.
Sure.
They're gross, they're harmful.
Plenty of those men also.
And they absolutely exist. Expats and retirees are just people living abroad for work, lifestyle, retirement, or...
It doesn't have to be retirement. I know a lot of expats that are just like my age just because they work remotely for a decent tech company, so they're able to live in other countries.
Yes, genuine relationships. And here's the problem. Everyone's lumping these all together, and when you do that, you can't have an honest conversation.
Correct.
Are there predators?
Of course.
Absolutely. Are there creepy old men targeting vulnerable young women? Yes. Are there literal pedophiles and sex traffickers? Yes. And those are the people we should be focused on. But there's a massive difference between a 70-year-old man preying on teenagers and a 50-year-old guy dating a 28-year-old woman who happens to be from another country. There's a difference between someone exploiting poverty and someone building a genuine partnership.
Correct.
And the fact that we can't make these distinctions, that's part of the problem.
Is it really our problem though, D? I think it's a woman's problem. Women can't seem to separate these things. Men that genuinely want to find love, start a family, and going overseas. No, they can't separate that at all.
Let's talk about something I really don't understand. The women making these videos say, I don't need a man, I don't care, good riddance, let them go. I'll try to find some of the videos and put it here in this video. I'm sure I'm gonna find a lot. But then they make video after video after video about these men.
American women are getting kind of upset that men are leaving America to find their woman.
No, honey, we are not upset. We're amused, and we find it very funny. Because a lot of the men leave.
Of course, we have a woman of this stature complaining about passport bros. Okay.
Leaving the U.S. to find their wife abroad. They're only doing so because they believe women in the U.S. have standards that are too high. So they're going abroad because they believe that the cultural and language barriers will allow them to find a wife that's easy to manipulate, to control, to lie to, and that your standards are going to be lower than ours. Wherein, in reality, your standards are going to be the same, if not higher, than women in the U.S. So we're actually waiting for the ball to drop when they realize this, that they're not going to get what they want.
Well, you're going to be waiting until you're definitely blueberry size.
That they're not going to find somebody to manipulate. So you can have them.
Those guys cannot afford American women. Those guys who look overseas for women and want a wife cannot afford American women. After about 2 to 5 months, you're gonna realize that you're not living a life of luxury. You're actually living with someone who everyone else rejected. You're gonna figure that out quick.
Oh my God!
And again, who's the lonely one? Who's the desperate one that needs a man, that don't need a man? You know, like, we see so many of these videos, it's so apparent. Women just talking out of their ass. It stinks.
Oh my God! What you trying to be on? I want whatever you want. I'll beat you the fuck up. What you trying to be on? If you really fuck Billy, what you trying to be on? It's whatever. I'm trying to be.
When are we gonna escape this mentality? She said that these bros are not marrying foreign women because they speak little English or because they have a lack of education, but because they're more nourishing and more caring. You're describing a maid, a free lift and one for the rest of your life at that. And at the end of the video,
girl, I can afford a live-in maid. I don't need to hire someone to do that and have sex with. I'll just hire someone to have sex with.
Video, she's like, oh, this is mutually beneficial, and if it doesn't work out for you, just leave. Leave where? With who? With what money? In a foreign country where you speak little English and have little education? Just do like a little more thinking, girl. Why do they want to marry women that can't speak the predominant language? Because they're easier to control. It's not as easy as you're saying. So stop misinforming people. Stop defending these lowlives who are preying on our system.
Passport bros are losers. They can't get women here. They can't afford us. They're undesirable. I'm the prize. Foreign women can have them.
Yep.
If you're really the prize, if you really don't care, why are you this pressed? You know what secure people do when
my girl,
someone doesn't want to date them? They move on.
Correct.
They date other people. They live their lives. And you know what insecure people do? Take a guess. They make content trying to convince themselves and everyone else that actually they're the ones who didn't want it anyway. This is classic I don't care energy from people who very clearly care a lot. This is basically sour graping. Think about it.
Sour graping. I've never heard that term before.
If a guy you weren't interested in started dating someone else, would you make 50 videos about him?
Hell no.
Would you call him names? Would you insult his new girlfriend? No, because you genuinely wouldn't care. But if a guy you did want, or at least wanted to have the option of, suddenly took himself off the market entirely, and not just one guy, but a whole demographic of men, now we're getting somewhere. And no, this is not about morality. This is not about protecting foreign women.
Nope.
This is about perceived rejection. This is about market dynamics. This is about feeling like you're losing bargaining power in the dating market. And I get it. Rejection sucks. Feeling unwanted sucks, but let's be honest about what this actually is. And here's where it gets really rich. These same women who claim to be feminists, who talk about women's autonomy and choice and agency, are the same ones calling foreign women stupid, submissive, uneducated doormats, impoverished, who are okay with being treated like garbage. Let me say this clearly, dude. You cannot call yourself a feminist while insulting other women's intelligence and choices. Feminism means trusting women to make their own decisions.
I mean, that's what it used to be.
It means respecting women as capable human beings who can determine what's best for their own lives.
Correct.
At least that's Filipino feminism for you, or the feminism that I know of. But apparently that only applies to Western women?
Yeah.
Apparently, when a Filipina or a Thai woman or a Colombian woman chooses to date a foreign man, suddenly she's too stupid to know what she's doing. She needs you to tell her that she's being exploited. This is racism wrapped in feminist language.
Pretty much, right? It's the superiority complex. And I don't even think it's racism in a sense, because there's even Asian women that are doing this. It is just that Western superiority complex that women have here compared to other women.
This is the white savior complex with a progressive bow on it.
Pretty much.
And honestly, if this is how you define feminism, you can choke on it. You're not protecting us. You're insulting us. You're denying us the same agency you demand for yourself. You're treating us like children who can't make informed decisions about our own lives. I'm educated, I make my own money, I chose my relationship, and so did millions of other women around the world. The fact that our choices don't look like yours doesn't make them wrong. Different cultural values don't mean we're oppressed.
Correct.
Wanting a traditional family structure doesn't mean we're brainwashed. And here's the real kicker. You claim to support women's choices until women choose something you don't approve of. Then suddenly you need to police who we date, how we live, and what values we hold dear.
Correct.
You can't tell women date whoever you want and then turn around and shame women who date men you don't like. You can't champion autonomy while dictating acceptable relationship choices. Either you trust women to make their own choices or you don't. Pick one. but get off your virtue signaling high horse acting
Damn
better
right.
than other women. Now let's talk about what these critics actually say about foreign women, because it's not just disagreement, you know, it's straight up racist stereotyping. As I've mentioned earlier, they call
I don't ever really mention the racist part, just because I think it's just ignorance of people thinking other countries are so impoverished.
all as submissive, doormats, gold diggers, desperate, impoverished, uneducated, good for nothing, and should just stay in the kitchen. Well, I don't really have a problem staying in the kitchen. I like cooking and eating, but they put a blanket over entire populations. Filipinas, all desperate. Asian women, all submissive. Latinas, all looking for a green card. And
Big booty Latinas.
here's what kills me. They think they're the good guys in this
They
scenario.
really do.
They act like they're protecting us while calling us dumb. They pretend they're empowering us while stripping away our agency. All for clicks, you know, they actually don't give a shit in reality,
Nope.
and I know that. The actual passport bros aren't even the only ones getting attacked anymore.
Flack.
It's a whole clusterfuck, and I'm sorry for my French, of name-calling and stereotyping.
I like your French. I usually do not like women going French on me, but I'll accept this one time for you, G. Just this one time for you, D.
That's causing collateral damage to entire communities of women. Real women with real lives, with real educations, real careers, and real autonomy. But sure, tell me again how we're all just helpless victims who can't think for ourselves. And look, are there men who fetishize Asian women? Absolutely.
Yes, sure.
Are there men who specifically target economic vulnerability? Yes.
Sure.
But assuming every international relationship is exploitation, assuming...
No, it's the same thing that they do, D, with age gap relationships. Like, this is the exact same thought process. Because if there's one horrible person that might be a predator that's looking for underage or ripe age girls to manipulate, no, that's the fear for all age gap relationships now. I'm like, no, that's not the case. But they love doing that very straw man argument.
Every foreign woman is a victim. That's prejudice. You know what's actually harmful to foreign women? Being treated as a monolith. Being denied complexity, you know, being told that our choices aren't really ours because we're too naive or desperate to know better. We're not props in your narrative, you know, we're not tools for your argument or engagement. We're actual human beings with the same capacity for decision making that you have. And I dare say we understand the value of what you have tossed away with modern feminism. Many of you are man-hating bigots and insanely resentful of us sane women cashing in on your mistakes. Treat us
I love it. Cash in on their mistakes, girl. My girl.
Like it. Here's my position, and it's actually pretty simple. Everyone should be able to date whoever they want as legal adults.
Correct.
You want to date, you know, only people from your own culture? Cool.
Same.
You want to date across cultures? Also cool.
Cool.
You want specific traits in a partner? That's your right. Men should be able to seek partners who align with their values. Women should be able to seek partners who align with their values.
Correct.
Some guys want traditional family structures. Some guys are tired of hookup culture and want someone family-oriented. Some guys feel more valued and respected in other cultures, and that's their choice. And you know what? Women do this too. Western women date abroad. You know, women date older men, women date younger men, women seek out partners with specific cultural backgrounds or values.
Or income.
Passport hosts exist and go to different countries like Africa, Dominican Republic, Jamaica. See the trend. But we don't see the same outrage when women do it. Do we?
No.
A 30-year-old...
Because men aren't outraged by it. We just don't care. Women are the ones that seem to care about what men do.
Old woman dating a 50-year-old successful man, she knows what she wants, she's mature, good for her, go get that bag. A 40-year-old man dating a 20-year-old foreign woman, predator, groomer, loser. The double standard is just insane. Now, let me be clear, I'm not talking about predators and I'm not talking about sex tourists.
Correct.
There is a fine line between men genuinely looking for partnership, trying to build a life, tired of the dating BS in their own countries, and actual exploiters, pedophiles, and predators.
Correct.
We can acknowledge both exist. We can call out the predators without stereotyping everyone. But most of these relationships, they're just two adults who found compatibility across borders. That's it. It's not that deep. Some of these men are just seeking alternatives, trying to make their lives better, trying to find happiness and a family, as everyone has a right thing to do. So let's return to the core question. If these men are so undesirable, if you're so happy without them, if you're the prize and they're the trash, why can't you stop talking about them? Secure people don't do this. People who genuinely don't care don't build content careers around people they claim to be indifferent to.
I care about women. You guys know this. I love women. I love men. This is why I make the content I make. Because hopefully it hits both. I just want better relationships between the two of us, and hopefully we have great kids. Like 2-3 kids, each of us, men, our kids competing each other in sports and stuff. I don't know, that's just one thing I think about.
The amount of energy being spent on these men reveals everything. It reveals insecurity about desirability. It reveals anxiety about changing dynamics. It reveals fear of being left behind, and it reveals the need for validation. And look, I actually have empathy for that, feeling rejected sucks, feeling like you're not valued sucks. And the dating market is harder for everyone right now. But the answer isn't to attack men for seeking happiness elsewhere. The answer isn't to insult women in other countries to make yourself feel better. The answer is honest self-reflection.
Damn.
What are you...
Girl, you're talking about accountability. Accountability in women? You may have it. I don't know if it's a woman trait, though.
So really upset about? What do you really want? Why does someone else's choice threaten you so much? Because if you are really secure, really the prize, really unbothered, you just live your life.
No, girl, they just know their dating pool and dating options is shrinking, and shrinking so rapidly. They don't know what else to do other than to shame men and coming back.
You date people who value you. You'd be happy. You wouldn't need to make a video after video tearing down men you claim not to want and women you claim to be protecting. The behavior betrays the words. And look, here's the bottom line of all of this. People should be free to seek compatible partners wherever they find them.
Correct.
That goes for men and women. That goes for international relationships, age gaps between consenting adults, traditional relationships, modern relationships.
Some people don't think race mixing is a good thing. Some people do. I don't care. Find your lover, no matter what race or creed they are. Do your thing.
Relationships, all of it. Hell, even full-on transactional relationships are valid if both parties want that. Your
She's not
choices
wrong.
are yours. Other people's choices are theirs. We need to call out actual exploitation. We need to protect vulnerable people. We need to go after predators, sex traffickers, and actual pedophiles. But we can't do that effectively if we're lumping everyone together.
Yes.
If we're using legitimate concerns as cover for personal insecurities. If we're being racist toward foreign women while claiming to protect them. You can't be a feminist while insulting women's intelligence. You can't champion choice while...
You could be a feminist and still insult women's intelligence, in my opinion. It's just holding women accountable. Not every woman is intelligent.
while policing who women date. You can't claim not to care while obsessing over every move.
True.
Pick a lane. The discourse around Passport Bros says a lot more about the critics than it does about the men or the women involved. It reveals insecurity, it reveals racism, it reveals fake feminism, and it reveals people who claim independence.
No, in my opinion, D, it reveals real feminism, privilege, and that in society that women get above men is what real feminism really wants, and has always kind of technically wanted.
But need constant validation. And most of all, it's virtue signaling for clicks. So maybe instead of attacking men for seeking happiness elsewhere, Ask yourself why their choices bother you so much. Maybe instead of insulting foreign women, respect our agency. Maybe instead of making your 50th video about men you claim not to want, just let people live their lives. And to the women in international relationships, especially my fellow Filipinas and Asian women, you don't need anyone's permission. You don't need to justify your choices.
And passport bros, you don't need to defend yourself for your choices of wanting to travel and seek love and families abroad.
Not less than. You're living your life on your own terms, as we all should. That's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments because I'm genuinely curious to hear different perspectives on this. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more content where I don't hold back.
Shout outs to Dee, wonderful channel, wonderful content. Give her some likes and some subs. She seems very level-headed Filipina. She's probably gonna do a lot more content within our niche, I'm assuming. I actually haven't looked at her channel, but she's proud on you, and thank you for defending men and just defending people to have their own choices and their own agency. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that, and catch you guys next time. Ciao.